Until I started, selling my clothes on the street and making some money for myself. And then I moved out of my parents' house. And they were like, okay, this is cool. Rock on. And pretty early on, they supported me. And still, obviously, do to this day.
On to the next quarter.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of On to the Next Quarter, where I bring to you influential individuals who have impacted my life and I hope can impact yours as well. Today, I would like to introduce you all to someone who is a positive and colorful ray of sunshine within the concrete jungle of New York City, Miss Anika Ignozzi. Anika is a young entrepreneur and fashion designer who started her own business, O.O.H Baby, at just 20 years old. She specializes in hand-painted pieces by upcycling clothing and accessories. She has even debuted her fashion line within fashion shows in Miami, LA, and Pittsburgh. And in 2022, her designs hit the ramps in New York City's Fashion Week. She's even had celebrities such as
Cortez, Bebe Rexha, Nick Kroll, Mask the Slump God.
All wearing her designs.
Awesome people.
And if you know me, you know that I am absolutely obsessed with her work. And I feel that Anika and her designs really exude confidence, originality, and a way of expressing yourself unapologetically. So if you want all eyes to be on you, then you better wear O.O.H Baby.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for having me. I know you've been super busy, and I appreciate your time with us here today.
Of course. I'm happy to have you in the shop.
Yeah. I love telling people the story of how I found you, which was very accidental. I think it was the best accidental mistake that I have made. And since then, when I walked into your store, I was like, wow. It was very recent when I just moved to New York City, so I was still trying to discover my style. And I was like, I love everything, but I don't think I have the ability to rock this. Like, I was like, ooh, like, do I have that level of confidence? But I saw that one trench coat of yours.
Yes.
And I made the impulsive decision to just buy it. And afterwards, I was like, what did I do? When am I ever going to wear this? But I found the perfect moment. We were going to Alaska. And I was like, all right, this is where O.O.H Baby is going to pop up.
Yes.
So we're taking a trip on top of Mount Denali, which is the highest mountain in the United States. So we take like a snow plane and it lands on top of the mountain. I'm wearing this coat and people think I'm like some sort of celebrity. I felt like I was in the moment. I was like, yes, O.O.H Baby made it to the peak.
Yes.
She made it to the top.
Yes, I love to see my clothes on all sorts of adventures with everybody.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of my clothes is that you can look at it and be, maybe I don't know how to wear that, but then you put it on and you really do feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And people really admire that.
Yeah.
And you inspire people by dressing for you.
Yeah. I feel like it was so unique. Even like the pilot who was driving our plane was like, wow, like, who is this? Where is this clothing from? I was like, New York City.
Yeah, baby, NYC.
But I know you've been super busy traveling and just like, starting a new journey. So I just want to know, like, how are you doing? Like, how are the feelings, how are you doing?
Good. So it was incredible having this store for a year.
Mm-hmm.
I just moved to New York a year and like a few months ago. So through a nonprofit called Chishama, I have to shout them out. They gave me this opportunity for a store, along with a lady whose name is Leslie Ware. She owns Art to Wear. So she was a big inspiration for me to come to New York. So this year has been incredible. I've been in this shop a lot. Most people come in and see me. And it was just cool to meet all sorts of people, to get the one-on-one experience with watching people look at this universe I created, and also just inspired me to keep on going. And I'm really excited for the next phase, to get into the studio, to create some new things, to just uplift O.O.H Baby into a new direction, because I've been a one-lady show for the last 5 years. So,
wow.
And I work retail.
Yeah.
I work the designs. I work all the back end stuff. So I'm excited to build a team.
Yeah.
And just keep growing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
So I feel good. I feel really good.
So let's get a little bit into the background. So I was doing my research and stalking, and I found out that you were a D1 soccer athlete, right?
Yes, for a year.
Wow.
For a year.
But still, that is so impressive.
Thanks.
So how was that transition from being an athlete to becoming a fashion designer who now is taking over New York City? Like, what was that journey like?
Yeah, I mean, it was first very depressing because I thought I was really on the path that I always wanted to be when it came to soccer and, school. But coming out of that and just following my heart and feeling like I need to pull away from this. This is not the right direction I want to go in. It feels good looking back now, but it was definitely a depressing moment in transition at first. And then I really switched that attitude. I'm like, okay, you have to practice every day at something. You have to stay dedicated. You have to stay consistent in order to get better. And that's pretty much the attitude I took towards starting my business and painting, as I'm self-taught, no schooling, in terms of art. But yeah, just dedication and that sort of energy transfers into this.
So were you always interested in fashion and art, or did that just come about later in life?
Yeah, so I come from a super small town, and I actually hadn't met a full-time artist or fashion designer until I had gone to Wagner College for that 1 year. But yeah, I always loved color. I remember as a child, like, putting on very weird outfits, putting like a gazillion clips in my hair. And I had this like thing where you had a square of fabric and you would lay it down on this thing and then close it, and it was like a girl, like this toy thing, and you could change your outfits. I loved Barbies. I always loved rearranging and decorating and like transforming a space. So it was there, but I didn't have the resources to evoke that fully. And also I just don't think it was my time because, when you're in a small town, the way out is, schooling or sports or whatever that may be. But in my world at the time, like, I was super dedicated to sports, and so as I kind of crawled out of this tiny world, I began to paint more and explore myself more. But I always loved art. Yeah, art class was amazing. I was always really close with my art teachers too. So it kind of all makes sense looking back, but it took time to grow to figure this out.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like I'm in that position right now.
Yeah.
It's a process,
Of
but
course.
it's a fun process. It's a fun journey.
Yeah. Ups and
Huge
downs.
learning curve, I feel. So is it O Baby or O Baby?
Honestly, it depends on the day what I say. But I say O Baby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
O Baby.
mostly O Baby. But I'm not butthurt. Like,
yeah.
whatever you wanna
Okay.
say, go ahead.
Okay. So how did the name come about?
So this was the first name I ever had for this, which at the time I didn't know it was going to turn into this. It was really an opportunity to my brother actually was a huge inspiration behind O Baby. So he was modeling at the time, and he saw me painting on the clothing, and he referred me to a person in Pittsburgh who puts on fashion shows, and he was like, go ahead, meet him and see what he says. I happened to meet this gentleman, and he was putting on a fashion show, and he asked me, do you want to be in this show? And I was like, oh, sure thing. He said, you got to make a collection, and I had no idea what that even entailed. I had one piece at the time, no name, nothing. And so I made a 12-piece collection of hand-painted stuff, and it obviously needed a name, and I just kept listening to songs and listening to what people were saying, and I wanted something that was playful, that really stuck, that was a common thing, but was also really just fun. Like, that's what I wanted. So O Baby came to mind, and at the time it was O.H.
Oh, okay.
And so I wrote it on a tag, I sewed it on, and I showed my family. I was like, what do you guys think? And they liked it, and they cheered me on and supported me. And it just caught on. I showed my works. it was January 20th. I turned 20 years old, my golden birthday, and people liked the name, so it just stuck. And I like the way people interact with it.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, it's like, ooh, baby.
Yeah.
You know? It's fun to say.
Yeah.
So just a vibe.
Aww.
Yeah.
So was your family supportive in your decision to, like, start pursuing this?
Well, at first, I think everybody's mouth was on the ground. So that was definitely, sad to disappoint, my loved ones.
Right, because you were going to go towards the medical field originally, right?
Yeah, it was definitely a rocky road for a second because, I didn't even really have much of a plan. It was like very feeling-wise.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you got this feeling, like what? I'm like,
Yeah.
I swear I got something here. So yeah, it took a while until I started, selling my clothes on the street and making some money for myself. And then I moved out of my parents' house, and they were like, okay, this is cool, rock on. And pretty early on, they supported me, and still, obviously, do to this day. So I'm really lucky with a great family.
Wow. So you started selling your clothes on the street, right, in Pittsburgh, you were saying?
Yeah, in this place called the Strip District.
Okay.
So it's an amazing little strip of land, all local businesses. And there's this market, 20th and Penn. I have Penn Avenue tattooed on my skin, so it's like in my heart forever. But yeah, I sold there for 3 years, Saturday, Sunday. I would just go religiously, and that's where I met a lot of my beginning followers or just passerbyers that were willing to talk to me as I sat at this little table. I still have this tiny rickety table and this little stool that I would sit at, and anybody who would touch my clothes, I would go up to, just like most people that come in here, I would just give them a whole welcome to the brand thing. And very early on, it took time, but I realized I love connecting with the people who purchase the clothes, and it just helped me realize, what's working, what's not, what do I say, what don't I say. So I just encourage anybody to go out and be proud of what you make and wear it. I'm always wearing my stuff too, so that helped as I would walk around town and hand out cards. I was just, every day since I made this, I've really gone for it.
Yeah, so I love that.
The Strip District made me.
Yeah. So you have these super distinctive characters or monsters, or I don't know what character people that have now become like your signature. So is there a story behind it, or is there any meaning? Does each character have some different feeling or meaning behind it? Yeah, so I was and have worked very intuitively. So some of these characters actually evoke the emotion I'm feeling as I'm creating them. But my story behind them is just my self-expression and how I go about in the world. I just love to draw these characters, these people. It brings me peace of mind. I love that people identify with them. Like, ooh, that looks like me, or ooh, I feel like that. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a part of me. Yeah. Along with the color. I really love working with color and messing with people's eyeballs when it comes to the neon on neon. And it's just fun to wear some sort of interactive piece. And I found that cartoon, like portraitures, really evoked a lot of emotion and communication in terms of wearing that kind of look. So that's where it stems from a little. Yeah. And your favorite, I think I remember you telling me your favorite like medium to use is spray paint. Yeah, definitely one of them. And then also acrylic. That's pretty much the basis of all the patches is acrylic. So, but I love spray paint because it's super quick. You can fade it. You can also use a bunch of neon colors. It's very handy. Clothes, walls, doesn't matter. You can use it. And it dries pretty fast, so that helps too. Yeah. So I know you're like very mature, especially when it comes to like building a business, but how do you think you've been able to like manage, these young, youthful years and like having fun while also still succeeding in your that's a good question. Endeavors? Yeah, it's like I've definitely sacrificed a lot, and that's just what it takes. Yeah. I mean, like, you have to ask yourself, like, do you want to be in the field or do you want to be in the stands? And my answer. So I'm willing to
put in those extra hours that most people aren't.
Yeah.
And you just have to think, okay, when I'm older, I'm going to appreciate the fact that I went home at 2 in the morning instead of 6 in the morning. I still have fun, though.
Yeah.
And that's really important. Work-life balance is super important.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have fun. Especially in New York, I've been able to balance it a bit. But, I mean, of course, it gets tough for everybody, you know. And it just takes learning and just not to be so hard on yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't always do it right.
Yeah, that's true. Over
Yeah.
the years, though, do you feel like you've been able to understand a better balance for yourself?
Yeah, and I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I don't think the learning will ever stop.
Yeah.
That's a definite. Learning never stops.
Yeah,
So
that's
just
true.
figuring out what works, and every year, you know, it gets bigger, or, you know, things add on, and you just have to adjust and adapt. But, you know, yeah. And moving to a new city was pretty tough, and as well, you know, you have to kind of make new friends while also balancing work. So it's been a great challenge. I'm up for it, and I'm always up for that. So
yeah.
But I'm also cool with being down, you know, the balance. I guess, yeah.
Was it tough making new friends when you first came here? I know, like, a lot of people, especially our age, when they're moving somewhere new or they're not in college, and you think, oh, you're moving to a big city, like, there's people all around you, it must be so easy to make friends. But, like, honestly, it's work. It takes a lot of work and so much effort. It's a different kind of a job.
See, that's where my clothes come in. Like, that was a big driving force for me to continue doing this, is because the feeling I felt when wearing wild clothes that were painted and fun. Like, people will come up to you. I go out alone a lot.
Oh, yeah?
Because I find that to be very fun. You can kind of bounce around and do what you want, and then you can go home when you want if you have a tight schedule. But just wearing fun stuff helps people come up and talk to you. They feel comfortable saying, like, yo, cool jacket, and then there you go. There's a new friend.
Great conversation starter.
So it's good for everybody, and that's also, you know, a thing I really like to share with people, because when they buy it, people are going to talk to you. So,
that's true.
You know, it's fun.
Yeah, that's so true.
So it hasn't been too, especially because I'm here a lot, so I talk to people all day.
Yeah.
So it's been cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
What do you feel like inspires your fashion? Is there something in particular?
I'm pretty eclectic and chaotic, so I just see a piece and I like it, I'll paint on it. Color, like, that's really my big driver, as I love to add color. I'm just so tired of the basic mainstream gray, boring stuff. It's so boring.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I'm just trying to add color. Whether you wear it or not, you're going to see somebody and you're like, hey, that's pretty neat, or that stimulated me in some way.
Yeah.
So just making clothes on the edge that are going to make people think for a second, maybe not think, stop, look. Take them out of the boring gray world that we've somehow ended up in.
Yeah.
So just making things on the edge is my big driver.
That's true.
The continuation of.
Especially in New York City, where I feel like the clean girl look and like the super, you know, simple, chic aesthetic, which of course looks good and in its own ways.
Yeah, not knocking it, but.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, okay, what's something different? And you're so right. Every time I've worn your clothes, I get some kind of reaction, like a good reaction.
Right. And that's okay, too, because that still makes people react.
That's true.
Don't mind.
And I'm always getting stares, but, like, in the best way.
Right.
You know, it's not like...
It intrigues people.
Yeah, it's not like the weird stares when you're normally walking in New York City.
Yeah.
But, so one time I was wearing your pants, and it was during New York Fashion Week, and somebody came up to me, and they're like, what designer are you wearing? I can already tell that, like, those are designed. And I was like, yes. And then they were like, oh, you should come model for us. Not in those, but I was like, all right, cool. Oh, baby, got me.
It's supposed to open doors for you.
Yeah.
It's supposed to have people come up and talk to you. That's the magic of it.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I've definitely felt that every time I've worn it, whether it's like my doorman, they ask me, like, random people on the street, and so, like, you know, and now my family, my cousins, you know, I've already bought everything for them. So, like, if you haven't already, you should check out the store. And your store is online as well, right?
Totally. Website, Instagram, And, you know, if anybody ever has any questions, you can reach out.
Yeah. So I feel like the style of O.O.H Baby is very confident, bold, and unique. And so I was wondering, do you think that stems from a reflection of who you are or more of what you want to see in the world?
So I think the clothes make me confident. Like we were talking about earlier about people wanting to interact. That over the years has helped build my confidence, but, you know, of course that ebbs and flows. And of course I want to see more people being confident. That's why I want to share these clothes, and I want people to have more access to O Baby, and I want to grow bigger so that we can use this energy to make ourselves feel good and to explore and express. So, yes, I want to see more of that in the world.
Yeah.
For sure. And I want to inspire people to be okay with dressing as wild as they want.
Yeah. And do you feel like your store has attracted a group of individuals that are maybe more risk-taking or maybe more like-minded, or maybe somebody like me who wants to break out of the confines of the box that I was in, because I also came from a really small town, right? So then like coming into New York City and seeing all of these like amazing, beautiful things and ways of expression that I've always wanted to do but never could do in a small town because you'll look literally crazy.
Right.
Right? Like, do you feel like it has pulled in the type of crowd that you want?
I mean, yeah, I think so. And also people that were just curious, whether they bought something or not. I think it was a cool I mean, it was more than cool. It was an amazing location to be in the West Village here, where you kind of get a range of people, all ages, whether, you know, they like this stuff or they just want to know what this is about. So, yeah, it's been cool just to see the reactions of all sorts of people.
Yeah. And I feel like you, from when I've seen you all the time, you are just so confident in your own skin and in your own purpose and what you want to do. Has that always been the case for you? Like, have you been that confident in your skin?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, of course, once again, it ebbs and flows, especially when it comes to new experiences that you're not sure about and challenge you in ways that you've never been challenged before. You know, there's always growing pains. But yeah, I've always had confidence in myself because I really like to put the work in. When it came to sports, I mean, I was always practicing, whether it was track and soccer growing up, and I was balancing between those. And then when it came to college for that 1 year, it was soccer a lot. So I just know that I just know in myself that if I put in the work, that brings out confidence in myself. So it's like doing the work makes me feel confident, and if I don't do the work, then I feel crap. So my confidence also comes from work. Yeah. And so balancing work and pleasure is very important as well. So I don't want to.
So what would you say to somebody who might be struggling to feel that confidence or to feel comfortable in their own skin?
I would just say get something done. Like, if you start to accomplish little things at a time, that really builds confidence. Just start to accomplish little things, whatever that is for you, it is. But set up a schedule, try your best to stick to it in some way. I'm learning planning. So, you know, that structured life is also very helpful. But if you want to start small, just accomplish something.
Yeah. Whether
it be like deep cleaning your room or starting your website, you know, just try to achieve something on your list of things to do.
Yeah. So, what is something that we would never find you wearing?
Probably an all black outfit.
Yeah.
Like I think I must wear color somehow.
Yeah.
Like some sort of pop of neon.
Yeah, when you came out with what are those jeans called?
The Edge.
The Edge jeans. I think that's the first piece of black clothing that I saw in your store.
Yeah, I have a few now actually. Yeah. Because New York, you know, a lot of people dress in all black, which is totally. I'm trying to like push a little color on them, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and trying to work with two tones as well. I mean, like adding, a full black pant with a little bit of color, a little bit of something different to dip some people's toes in the water.
Yeah. What's a must-have accessory or piece of clothing in your wardrobe?
Wait, say that again?
What's a must-have? Like, you need to have, like, this is just you, you can't.
My boots.
Your boots, yes. Oh my gosh, yeah. That
Yeah.
is your signature, your boots.
I go through a pair like once every 3.5 months.
Yeah, you had like white ones too.
Today I realized they're done.
Oh yeah.
They're totally done, so now I'm wearing the pink ones. But I love wearing these boots. They make me feel confident, so that's why I like them.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so you're 25 now, but what would you have said to your younger self like 10 years ago when she was 15 versus what would you say to your 35-year-old self?
Okay, that's a good question. Well, if I'm 15 and I'm looking at my 25-year-old self, I'd say, what the hell happened to you? I'd be like, no, wait, I'm 25, I'm talking to my 15-year-old self?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd say, have a little fun, balance work and pleasure. I'd say just keep working hard, it's going to pay off.
Yeah.
Like, keep that work ethic.
Yeah. And then
And also explore yourself, Dive into new hobbies as well. That's what I would say to her.
Yeah.
And I'd give her a hug.
Aw. Yeah.
It's good times. Good times being 15. No
Yeah.
worries.
Yeah. And then what would you say to your older self? Something that you would want her to know?
My 35-year-old self?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Or hope she stays.
Head scratch on that one. I would say, if I'm talking to my 35-year-old self, I would be like, how's it going? Are you okay? Like,
Have fun.
are you having fun? Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
so proud of the work you've done. Like 10 years from now, I'm gonna just have grown. I don't even know what I would say. I just say, hey, how's it going? I just give her a hug as well.
Yeah. Do you have a goal or a vision of where you would want to be in 10 years?
Yeah, I want to have my clothing in multiple shops around the world. I want to have multiple shops around the world. I want to have an awesome team that helps me create the stuff and gets the job done. I just want to be an inspiration for anyone who wants to follow this path or do whatever they want to do. And I just want to, most importantly, keep creating cool stuff.
Yeah.
And just keep exploring that and sharing that with everybody.
Yeah. So, last question. If I had to describe you to someone, what should people know about Anika?
What should people know? I love to laugh. I'm pretty goofy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sassy. I love to paint. I'm always working. I'm always painting. I always got markers on me. I love to explore. And if you see me, come say hi. I'm always ready to talk and say hello and have a conversation. And I love to dance.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, shoot. Me
I
too.
love to dance. Especially in New York. There's this amazing music here. So exploring the nightlife has also influenced my clothes in terms of color and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, I'm always down to chat.
Yeah.
So if you see me, say hi.
Also, do you feel like you have found your purpose now, or are you still discovering it? And if so, what is your purpose?
I think my purpose is just to create cool shit.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. On clothing, paintings. That is where I feel happiness, so that's how I would say that's my purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for somebody who is trying to discover that, especially at such a young age, sometimes I feel like we feel this pressure of like, oh my gosh, they started when they were so young, I'm already like 27, 28, 30, 35. Like,
Don't compare yourself.
yeah.
Save it. Just do you. Honestly.
No.
Don't compare yourself. Just focus on you.
Yeah.
And start somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And what is one thing that you would want everyone to take away from your journey so far?
That you can do anything you set your mind to, especially if you stay dedicated and you're ready to adapt and you're ready to learn. I mean, I can only do so well with advice because I'm learning too, you know? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I would just say go for it.
Yeah.
And don't compare yourself either.
Mhm.
I mean, I get guilty of that. We all do. So it's easy to say don't or do or whatever. Just figure out what works for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, and keep a healthy lifestyle as best as you can. Take care of yourself.
yeah.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Mhm.
Well, I really appreciate you having me here in your store. I hope everyone is watching the video because this store is the coolest thing that I have ever seen, and probably the coolest store that you guys will ever see. It is so much fun. It literally screams you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love all the new pieces that you added, all the
Thanks.
paintings. It looks
Thank you.
awesome. Okay, any cool insights of what we could be looking forward to?
New items coming out that are for everyone, more accessible. There's lots of color. The characters are changing and growing as I am. So just growing.
Yeah.
So stay posted for all that stuff.
Yes, stay posted. I will link her website in the description, and if you guys haven't already, check out her website, check out her store. If you're in New York, stop by either here before it closes or in the Brooklyn location. And yeah, thank you for having me.
Totally.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me as well. And thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.